and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
The government's core mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of a roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
It's going to be a tall project that answers somebody's question.
The Front Bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice, and commerce.
When you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers, you bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport.
If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, and thank you very much for being with us on UBC TV. We are still in the Women's Month. Remember, yesterday we celebrated, or we joined the rest of the world, or we commemorated, whatever term you want to refer to it, Women's Day, and that was at the choral ceremonial grounds, and His Excellency was the chief guest, represented by the Vice President. So we are still in that spirit. Issues concerning women, the entire month. I don't know when we look at issues concerning men, but I think we look at them daily. Now, the entire month is dedicated to women, issues of gender violence, gender shelters, laws, and of course, if you remember, guest by guest yesterday, they were talking about the 12th Parliament prioritizing laws that are gender responsive and so on. So in the same spirit this morning, we are looking at investing in gender-based violence shelters to advance gender. Now, what are these shelters? How do we invest in them? Join me, welcome my guests from the Women's Pro Bono Initiative, that is WPI, with whom we are going to be diving into this topic. And with me, ladies first, I have Linda Kwagala, a legal officer at Women Pro Bono Initiative. Linda, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad to have you on the show.
I'm also glad to be here. Yes.
And then there is a gentleman in issues of women and more so gender. And he's been consistent, I must say, and that is Chisache Solomon, a legal officer at Women's Pro Bono Initiative. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you so much, Robert. Good morning, and good morning, our viewers. I'm glad and honored to be here as well. Yes.
Well, first question. What prompted you, Chisache, because I see you're very active when it comes to affirmative action, feminism in this country. What prompted you? Not so many men would pick interest here. Is it employment? Is it passion? You know,
Not really. What gave me the inspiration to work with women? First of all, we as a son, I have a mother, I have an auntie, I have a sister, I have a brother, I have, let me say, cousins as well who are ladies. So
no daughter yet.
Not daughter yet.
Okay,
so
we
I
continue.
think so I think also where the inspiration came from the fact that I grew up where I saw my father treating my mother well, and I decided why not take on the mantle and continue like that. But also we are in a changing world. I believe that as men, we feel that women are competing for the space with us. But if I feel that, just to make it clear for men, that feminism is basically allowing women as well to be who they want to be. So they are not our competition. And yeah, so I drew inspiration from that they're not our competition, they are siblings. It is not bad for your sister to be who they want to be or better than you in any scenario. Yeah.
And I want to also congratulate and commend the Women's Pro Bono initiative. You know, most of the times when women bring out their issues as women,
yes,
and men, we are not part of them.
Yes.
We go in the defensive. But when we see such initiatives having men in them, I would understand better when Chisache speaks to me than when Kwagala speaks to me.
You. Yes.
Because I'll say, well, this is a fellow man. If I told a man, give your girl child the best education you can,
True.
he would listen to me than when a woman came and said, you see, take the girls to the best school and all that. So I think most of these civil society organizations that are advocating for women's rights and all that should employ actually more men in them, because we listen more. We have that problem in us that we feel when a fellow man talks, it makes more sense.
True.
Not that when women talk, it doesn't make sense. It always makes sense.
Yes.
But the male brain has that something.
Yes.
Now, coming to Kwagala here, when we talk about gender-based violence, because this is going to be part of the basis of our show this morning, what are we referring to?
When we talk about gender-based violence, we talk about the issues that affect women. We come out with sexual violence, that is sexual assault. We come out with the harmful traditional norms or practices that affect women, especially the female genital mutilation. We also come with domestic issues, like the domestic violence, where we come out by men beating their wives and so on. Yes.
Okay. Now, when you talk about gender-based violence shelters, what are we referring to still?
Gender-based violence shelters. We talk about the homes that are provided to the survivors. So these homes provide a safe, how can I say, a safe environment for the survivors to access the basic needs, to access the counseling they need as the issues are being handled.
So when you talk about the shelters that you've said, for the survivors, now these are big words. And I want to bring in Chisache here. When you talk about domestic violence in Uganda, to the extent that we have survivors, what is the current situation of this problem in the country?
Thank you, Robert. So currently, gender-based violence, GBV, when you look at the police report of 2024, over 12,000 are affected by GBV. Now that's a big number. If you to equate that to schools, I think roughly you'd have like 6 schools. And that's a big population, just to make it easier for someone to understand. Now 12,000 is a number we cannot ignore, and mostly those are women and girls in that whole demographic of the number. So we are looking at aspects of where it is a critical issue. We need to reach out and save these people as fast as possible. People die because of gender-based violence. People think gender-based violence is only physical, but it's also online. The cyber harassment and stalking, cyber stalking as well. So when we're looking at these shelters, we, just like Kwagala said, we're trying to create a safe space, a safe haven for these women to go back, have space to heal, and equally have a space where they can get legal, emotional, and psychological support so that they're able to grow and then come out into society and possibly integrate as well with other community members. Yes.
Kwagala, Chisache has given us the statistics per se that this is a very big problem, but when we talk about shelters, have we reached there? Do we even have them in Uganda? You know, this sounds so Western, because here we know women have their issues, go back in that home, or you go to your father's place, or This sounds exotic, not African. Do we have them?
Actually, shelter is not an exotic thing. We do have them in Uganda. Okay. For example, our organization, the WPI, we do have a shelter in Uganda. We, how can I say, we facilitate the girl child. We do have them, and we help them to access the basic needs. If the children are involved, we even give them the child care they need. We take them to school and so on. Yes.
Excuse me. Now, that said, it also takes me to look at the law. When we have statistics are high and we have laws, let's look at the law.
The law, we have our constitution, which is the mother, we call it the mother law in this country. We have Article 21 in there. We have Article 32. 21 deals with non-discrimination. So as a country, we believe that women should not be discriminated. You have Article 32, you have 33 that deal around women and rights of women and affirmative action as well. So that is a good step for us as a country, that we are in the right step when it comes to promotion of women. However, as well, we have other laws. We have the Succession Act, which allows women, especially spouses, to have a legal interest in the property of their spouses. You have the Domestic Violence Act, which basically criminalizes GBV. You have the Prevention of Female Genital Mutilation Act. You have Prevention of Trafficking in Persons Act. You have the Children's Act. So all these laws are there. They exist. You have the Land Act. They exist, but now the challenge comes also with implementation of the laws. We have good laws as a country, and I want to upload our legislators and our lawmakers, other lawmakers, that the laws are good. But now when it comes to implementation, I think there's a lot of ignorance as well when it comes to the masses and also the people that implement them, but also the funding is a bit little and limited. So that becomes a big challenge. But the laws are there and they are very good for us as a nation. Yeah.
Now I want to look at the Women's Pro Bono Initiative in Uganda. Well, I'm now eager to know, with the situation as it is, with the shelters present, what is your mandate? What is this Women's Pro Bono Initiative? Please, Kwagal.
So the Women Pro Bono Initiative started in 2018. Its aim is to see that girls and women are free from all forms of discrimination. They can access basic needs, they can access basic needs, they can advocate for their own rights, and also empower other women out there to live fully, to live fully to their full potential. Yes.
Okay, such a supplement on that as well.
Just to add on, we also do our work through certain pillars. We do creative lawyering, where we teach legal students, especially the girls, the female law students, how to be better lawyers, things that are not taught in law school or the class. So we do that through creative lawyering. We also do strategic litigation. So that is through public interest cases. We take on cases that we believe are very impactful, and where a case whereby if one person is affected, the whole community, the impact of that case affects the whole community. So we also do that. And then we also do sensitizations as well in the community, where we talk to fellow women, we talk to men as well. We call it men engagement. So we talk to men to bring them on as allies in this struggle to make sure that women's rights are protected and promoted. Yeah.
Now that said, women's rights are protected. Let's look at what is critical that must be addressed or call for action, Kwagal.
What has to be addressed mostly is violence that really affects the women. The most cases that come on board are sexual assault cases. We feel like
and what are these? Away from the lawyer terms, let's go to the ordinary my grandmother watching.
We have rape and defilement. We find a problem that the community has normalized these things. Many girls get pregnant and drop out from school. And how can I say? And they have normalized it because the girl child, there is a high rate of teenage pregnancy. So we feel like if we educate these girls, that this and this, these are your rights. We enable them to access, like if someone is being violated sexually, they do get the help they really need. And also engage other students, like enable child to know that it's really bad to violate a child. It's really bad to do this and this, because if a girl child is violated, just know it's going to affect the society.
Yes.
Personal call to action. I feel we need to do more with the funding of Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. That's the ministry that handles shelters. When you need to register a shelter, you have to go to Ministry of Gender. There's a framework in there on how to register a shelter. So we believe that government needs to add in more funds to Ministry of Gender, so that we have more shelters, possibly government shelters, where we can have GBV victims taken too. And then we also believe that government needs to do more sensitization as well when it comes to the laws around GBV. We are still in a very patriarchal society. Like you said earlier, if they beat you, you're told to go back to the marriage or go back to your husband or to apologize. So we need to do more sensitization around that. We need to teach the men, especially the men and the young boys who are growing up, that violence is not the solution to solving an issue with your partner. So basically, just the funding, and we also need to do more sensitization around GBV, and also to partner. Also, government needs to allow more stakeholders to come on board that have these shelters and are willing to create them. There are a lot of civil society organizations that have created shelters and are ready to establish them in the country. So I think we just need to have a clear partnership and network with these civil society organizations as government. So I know the government can do more and it can do better. And we pray that if all of this is implemented and done, then we shall have a big impact in reduction of gender-based violence.
Well, Kwagala, let me just come back to you, the element of culture when it comes to gender-based violence. What is your say to culture leaders, to people who are still soaked in that culture? Reason being is I've seen many cultures that are tolerating gender-based violence. I've seen, and it is normal. For example, I know communities where if a man fought, let me use the word fought, because of that I've seen men thoroughly beaten by women. They start the war, at the end of the day the man is down. Beaten is thorough. Now we no longer say if the man beats, if they fought. They will condemn the woman. How dare you beat her? You know? I've seen in a man gets another wife, the blame is on the woman. They feel there are certain things, yet sometimes it could be something else. So speak to those negativities and culture. And I want to hear from you very strong. I know these are fields you fear to tamper.
Okay, the aspect of culture. I feel like there needs to be change, because in some societies, women are nothing. You can talk, you can suggest, it's you to follow the man. You have to submit, actually, it's submission. You have to be submissive. I feel like it has to change, because women, we contribute to the society, political-wise, we go to economic-wise. I feel like women have an upper hand in everything that's being done in the country. They have to be given space. They have to be given space to do everything, as long as they have the potential to do it. Girls are supposed to go to school, they're supposed to enjoy the equal rights men do enjoy, as stipulated in Article 33 of the Constitution. Yes.
And before I come to your parting shot, now I'll go to Chisache here. Speak to the religious leaders and religion at large. I know many faiths or religions that believe if a girl sees her first menstrual cycle, then she's ripe. One told me, if God has made her ready, who are you, son of man, to say no?
Okay, to the religious leaders, I know that's a very delicate issue, and we usually fear conversations around God. but we are in a progressive society and we are growing as a community. I believe that as religious leaders, we need to tell men that violence is not good. We need to sit them down. We have spaces. You have a church of over, let me say, 2,000 people. You have, if you're the Archbishop of Church of Uganda, you have a big congregation of over 4 million Ugandans, because our Church of Uganda is, I think, the second biggest church in the whole country, in the whole world. So you have 4 million people that are following you. So if you speak to them and change the narrative and tell them, you know what, beating a woman is not right. It is not even enshrined in the Bible anywhere that a woman should be beaten, a woman should do this. The Bible actually says for a woman to submit, there should be love as well from the husband. So how are you loving your wife? How are you loving your partner? Is love through beating? I don't believe love is through pain. So we need to change the narrative and speak to the men in the churches. We need to speak to the women as well in the churches and tell them that GBV is not a good practice. We can do better as a community. We can thrive better when we are not practicing harmful stereotypes in our community. For example, female genital mutilation, gender-based violence, and any other kind of discrimination against women. So church leaders should just use the platforms they have. They already have a big following, and they should just help in changing the narrative through the sermons, through the teachings, and through the scriptures as well. If well interpreted and understood, then everything, this country, I believe, will become a better place for women.
As we wind up this wonderful conversation this morning that is looking at building gender-based violence shelters where the ladies that are, or the children can have a safe haven to recover, not to lose lives, because what sense does it make? I'm running away from trouble, you're taking me back to trouble. What God has put together, no man shall put asunder, till death do us apart. Now, this woman wants to run away from the hell, and religion says, no, you should stay there. Tradition says, so we ate the man's things, don't tamper. Now, where would these girls go? Where would these women go unless we have gender-based violence shelters? Let me begin with Kwagala, your parting shot.
First thing first, I think GBV is not only physical, it's also psychological. So I feel like if you're not safe somewhere, because mental health first, I believe you have to first, you have to live actually. Live and put yourself together and all the rest, because we want you alive, we won't help us when you're dead. So I feel like even the people in the society must not normalize practices that promote gender-based violence. If someone approaches you and they tell you they're suffering mentally, please give them a chance to practice their rights, let them live. Yes.
Okay, and finally, Chisache.
Parting shots. One, I feel government needs to do more funding for the shelters. We have a couple of shelters, mostly which are run by the civil society organizations. So I feel we need to create more shelters, more government, because it's a big burden. Remember, civil society organizations receive funding mostly from donors. So it's a big burden. So I think government should come on board and help with the finances and do more funding as well for these shelters through Ministry of Gender, and also build a collaborative network. But also, I feel that we need to do more sensitization as well. Now that we are in the Women's Month, the month of March, we need to do more sensitization. Yes, the achievements are there when it comes to the progression of women's rights in our country. Tremendous progress, but then we still have a lot more work to do. We need to do more reflections that yes, the achievements are there, but how do we, the challenges that are there, GBV and any other related issue, how do we tackle it, and how do we make Uganda a space where women can thrive as well in this country? But other than that, I'm sure that the men are learning, and we should keep engaging them as well, even you in your community and church. I believe you can engage your community and tell them that women's rights are important. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kwagala and Chisache, all from Women's Pro Bono Initiative, and we've been looking at investing in gender-based violence shelters, and you've seen some on the screen to ensure that these women and girls have a safe haven, because home is not safe, marriage is not safe, and we can't lose them or have them have permanent injuries. Now, one of my guests talked about psychological violence, that sometimes, and the men better understand this, they may not be beaten, but they can be taken through that psychological torture for some time. Only that they have so many avenues for them to go to. Coming late, they go to the bar, they go where, but the women have to sink in there. And I hope these shelters are not only looking for the women, maybe also the men will sometime have these shelters where they can go and have some rest. So government, please, we call upon you, we call upon individuals. Let's support the cause to save more lives. And I've been looking at the Bible. I've not seen anywhere in the Bible where a man picked a stick.
True.
And killed the woman. Show me that scripture in the Bible that Abraham picked a stick and worked on Sarah for taking long to give birth. That so and so I can give you listen, and they were under stress, but they never reacted that way. See you in the next hour. Keep it with UBC TV. Sports updates next.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby,
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.